Hello, Red Wave. Welcome to Beware Bulldogs podcast. My name is Caleb Nail. Joining me is Caleb Pletz, co-host of Beware of Bulldogs. We have different backgrounds today, so bear with us. We're a couple minutes late. Some technical things we had to figure out. I'm not at my house. I'm somewhere else. Caleb, you are not at your house. How you been, man?
No, really good. It's it's been nice and warm here in Fresno, California, which is good. And got some different gatherings going on over the weekend and the next day or so with 4th of July. So it's always a fun time and kind of midpoint of the summer, I guess. And so yeah, exciting. And we're 1 week closer to Fresno State football, so that's a good thing too.
The grind never stops, even for the 4th of July.
That's right.
Luckily,
we're here on July 3rd.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, I got weird lighting over here, but I'm in a basement, so we'll see how this goes. Caleb's on his phone, so audio quality might be different, and he can't see me, and he can't see himself. So if we're looking at his nose or something, just let us know in the chat, and we're gonna figure it out. What else do we need to share with them? Oh, actually, what'll be good, Caleb, is that I have better internet.
Oh, perfect. All right.
So we're good. Pack show for you today. We have big news for you at the end. Okay. Yes, we're gonna make you wait around for it. I'm sorry, but big news for us at the end, and we're happy to share it with you guys. We're gonna talk some questions that we proposed to you guys on Twitter. Caleb and I are gonna answer them, and Instagram. So make sure you're following us there on Twitter, beware_Bulldogs, and Instagram at Beware Bulldogs Podcast. We're going to talk about San Diego State because they seem to just love the Mountain West, and we love them, quotation marks. I want to talk about the difference in this new Elevate campaign compared to other campaigns that I've seen and that Caleb and I have seen. So it should be fun. And then we'll get to our big news. Quick story, Caleb, while we wait for everybody to get in here and me to pull up Twitter so I could see your responses. I'm in SLO, that's San Luis Obispo. And I am here, one, because my wife and I wanted to get away on vacation, and my aunt and uncle are gone. We're staying at my aunt and uncle's place, but they're on vacation as well. So we were tasked with taking care of their cat. Well, we immediately walked into the house, opened the door. There's the cat sitting there. I open the front door. The cat runs out. This is about 2 feet out the front door. And I had to debate whether I should tell my aunt or not. Well, I told my aunt. And we walked up and down the streets of San Luis Obispo for 8 hours. Could not find this cat. Yes. It was awful. Man. At 10:30 p.m., we got there at 2:30ish. The cat showed up. After I told my aunt texted every neighbor. Everyone knew that these dumb foreigners were here. We found the cat. Everything's fine. And after this, we're heading home and I can get out of here. I don't have to take care of the cat anymore. So, by the way, I'm a dog person, so I don't do well with cats. Well, we're country guys. I just put the cat outside, do your thing. I don't want to worry about you. Catch mice. Taking care of an inside cat I don't know what to do. So I'm learning. All right. Anyways, Art gets us started with how dumb does San Diego State look? LOL. Very dumb. And we're going to get to there in a second. Caleb, on Twitter, we proposed to the Red Wave 2 different questions, and I want to propose them to you and I right now. Sorry if you can't see me, guys. I know it's going out in dark and light. Blue, here's the choice. Blue, full blue alternate uniforms, the script helmets, or would you rather have a red throwback to our whack days with the 4-paw all white dog?
Yeah, this was a really good question, and I think we got a ton of really good engagement on Twitter this week. So, good job to you for putting up some good questions, and also shout out to like just everyone in Red Wave with participating. 'Cause it was a lot of fun, kind of getting everyone's input on some of these questions. So, I do think there was some confusion though on this question because it seemed like people were deciding of whether they want the red uniform or the blue uniform. And I think we're definitely I'm not trying to get rid of the red uniform. Like that's the staple. But what we're debating about is whether we want the old school all white dog and instead of the script. So I'm assuming that's what you meant, right?
As an
Just to put
alternate.
some, yeah, as an alternate.
Yeah.
I mean, my default's always going to be red. I think we should wear red as often as possible. That being said, we were wearing the blue uniforms in our crazy comeback against San Diego State last year. So that one, I guess, did have a little bit of a come up in my brain, but I'm always going to default red. And the old school all white four paw dog is pretty cool, and it is kind of more of a vintage look too, which I think vintagey clothes and stuff are pretty coming in style now, which is kind of funny to say. So I'm definitely going to lead on all red and four paw dog.
Same. I don't think we played well in blue ever. I I don't remember a game that we played well in blue.
It
We've
just
won
took
games in
a
blue.
right, and yeah, thanks to San Diego State meltdown.
Right. That also makes them look dumb, Art. Um, yeah, I'm all for the throwback. Now, what about the bones on the back of the helmet? I know some guys
Yes.
put them on front. You had a different take on this, I believe.
I mean, I'm all for the bones. I think that was cool, and like kind of, like it always seemed like when you saw the dude with his helmet covered with bones, and if I'm remembering correctly, there was different colors too. Like I remember there being white and yellow. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Um,
I think
but
there might have been
when I
black
saw
too.
maybe, yeah. So when I saw that, I thought of like, okay, either this guy is like like sells like goes hard in practice, like he's a really solid player, like always goes hard, or he's like a special teams maniac. And so that's kind of where like I wanted it to be more focused. Is like, okay, this guy's a maniac on special teams and like lighting people up. So that's like what I always kind of hoped it would be, like just crazy guys that just wreak havoc on special teams. But I do like the bones to kind of signify either a big play or something maybe that wasn't noticed by everyone in the crowd, but like was a really important play for the team or maybe changed the game. So yeah, I'm all for the bones. I do think it you know is a really cool aspect. But the only question I have is how do the bones translate when we have three or four different helmets that the players are going to wear throughout the year? Because the bones in the Pat Hill era, I mean, those guys had a helmet. Like that was their helmet that they wore every week. So I don't really know logistically how that would transfer.
I'm a big fan of the bones. Art's 50-50 on the bones. And Tim says, what about a Fu Manchu mustache sticker?
That would be cool. Yeah, like we got the green V on the back and then right above it the Fu Manchu. That would be funny.
I'm all in. I actually like the stickers. You know,
Yeah,
seeing guys get more and more stickers added, more and more they play, the better they play. I kind of like the idea of it.
yeah. I
Granted,
mean, I
I
know
played.
like too in like in baseball too. Like I know there through most of the Batesville era, like they had like a paw print sticker that they would
Mhm.
put on their batting helmet. I think that kind of faded off over the last couple of years, but I know that historically, baseball's done that too.
Yeah, I'm all in. Okay, the other question, Caleb. You are in charge of Fresno State's non-conference games. Who are the four schools you are scheduling? We actually had quite a few answers that were the same, or there were a couple schools
Okay.
that came up often, I should say.
Right. What
Uh,
what what were like the most common responses?
So we got a lot of Cal Poly, UC Davis, Sacramento State. We got a lot of UCLA, which makes sense. And mixed in there were a lot of Big 12 schools.
Okay.
So now to you. Who would be the 4 schools? Oh, actually, sorry, Caleb, stealing your thunder real quick. Some people were on board with, I believe it was an FCS school, 2 Power 5 and a Group of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it? Or 2 Group of 5 and 1 Power 5? There was
Yeah, I think it was
a
2
method to
Power
the
5,
madness.
one G5, and
Yeah.
1 FCS. And I saw that someone had commented crediting that to Pat Hill, like that was a method. So I'd never actually seen that written down or published, but I mean that is pretty much how it was.
Yeah. So you don't have to stick to that model, but who would be the 4 teams that you would want to play or that you
Uh,
would schedule?
right. For sure, starting with UCLA, just to keep that winning streak going, which I think is hilarious. So for sure, UCLA, and I mean, I don't mind going to the Rose Bowl too, and I think that's something like kind of interesting that I noticed in a lot of the responses is like I don't know how everyone else was out there like playing NCAA football and doing like a creative schedule, but I played 12 home games on that thing. Like I was not playing any road games. I was all home games. But everyone like in the responses was pretty realistic with like home and away, and like most of the Pac-12 or Power 5 matchups were away games, which is actually realistic. So I think credit to everyone that responded for actually being realistic in these responses. So
Not
I
being
gotta say
pledged 12-0 at home.
exactly. So yeah, probably at the Rose Bowl, taking on UCLA. I think that is kind of a fun tradition, and it's a fun atmosphere. Good tailgating. Parking's much better than that USC. So I think that's a good one to keep and easy travel for the fans. I do want another California road game. So I mean, I'd love to see either a Cal or Stanford. That's not realistic though. So I'm trying to like put something together that like could actually happen. So that kind of led me to go okay, either Sac State or UC Davis, and so that'll be a home game. So I'm at this point I'm going track with most of our responses. So I'll say UC Davis at home because I don't think we've played them in quite a while. So that's my first 2. I would love to get either Oregon or Oregon State at home. So, like we got last year with Oregon State at home, I think that was really fun atmosphere, and like that's still kind of close enough to where like on the return trip, it's travelable. So, I would love to take Oregon at home to try to take them down. So I'm gonna go Oregon at home, and then G5. I'm gonna go with the formula here, and like a G5 team that I'd like to take on. I think I'd like to take on like either Houston or Memphis. Which Houston is now Big 12, and is Memphis still G5? I don't know. I
Yeah. Yeah.
should have fact checked that. So, okay, so I'll go Memphis then because Houston's in the Pac-12, so maybe future conference opponent?
Big
Question
12.
mark.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'll go Memphis. I'm gonna throw them in there just for an interesting travel game, and I guess I'll do that away. Maybe we can probably work out a home and home there, so we're we'll go there this season. Next season they'll make a return trip.
I like it.
All
Davis,
right.
UCLA,
Yep.
Memphis, and what was the other one?
Home against Oregon.
Home against Oregon. Art asks Cal or Stanford? Question mark. Why would you want them?
I think it's more just because it seems like they're either too scared or just don't want to schedule us. Because I mean, we've played Cal hard. I mean, I think the last time we played Cal was probably 2012 or 2013.
Candlestick? Was that a
Yeah,
Candlestick?
Candlestick. Yeah, I think that was the game that Philip Thomas got hurt too, which wasn't a great game for the Dogs. But I don't know. I mean, it's a 3-hour drive plus or minus. Like that would be a really good travel game for Fresno State. And I mean, Caleb, I mean, Stanford and Cal games, they are, very well attended, just like just like UCLA games. So
People
I
talk
think it would
about
be
gray wave at Fresno State. Go to Stanford Cal game.
exactly. So I think I'm more looking for opportunities for the Red Wave to take over other stadiums. So I think that's what Camper and Estelle both, excuse me, Stanford and Cal both seems like a prime opportunity for the Red Wave to take over their stadiums.
Yeah, I agree. And I want some revenge for them saying we don't want you in the Pac-12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My 4, I threw UC Davis in there. Ag school, little ag rivalry. Could be Cal Poly, could be Sac State, whichever you want. We haven't played Davis in a while, so I threw them in. Then I went with 3 Pac-12 schools. UCLA being one. I want to play USC. I want to beat USC so bad. So
Yeah.
so bad. I don't think I've seen Fresno State beat USC in my lifetime. I don't think they have beat USC in my lifetime.
92.
No.
That was before both of us.
Yep. So I want to play USC and beat them. I don't care, home or what. I mean, we'll have to play away. And then Oregon State. They beat us last year. We beat them 0-2. We need a tiebreaker. And Oregon State, I feel as though they have a similarly ran program where all about grit and toughness, kind of the younger brother to Oregon Ducks. They're overlooked. They have this chip on their shoulder. I want to play against schools like that, and they have some good players this year. So Oregon State, USC, UCLA, and UC Davis currently. I wouldn't mind Big 12 schools or anywhere else, but you know me, Caleb. I'm a regional guy. Let's stay in this area.
And I mean that's something that college football is losing, and is like one of the really cool parts about college football is the regional rivalries. So hopefully that can hold on, but I'm sure our friends Bob in the chat, always wanting the updates on conference realignment that the regional aspect of college football is slowly fading away.
Yep. Art asks, not asks. He says he loves the Arizona State matchup this year, and believes that we're going to be represented pretty big. I know that we both may be there.
Definitely.
So we'll
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Shall we talk San Diego State, Caleb? I know this is Fresno State pod, but we got to talk about San Diego State. Okay, so I'm sure most people know this. San Diego State they have been sending letters back and forth with the Mountain West, and I think they're pleading for forgiveness right now because they're back in the Mountain West. And Caleb, I actually have the letters here.
Okay.
And I think it would be fun for me to actually read the letters. Some of you guys have probably read them. Not everyone has. Not all our listeners have. I'm going to read some here. And this is the initial letter that San Diego State President Adela de la Torre, president of San Diego State, sent on June 13th to the Mountain West Conference and all members. That's what it says. Okay, so I'm going to read this. It'll be quick. As shared with Commissioner Navarez at our June 2023 Board of Directors meeting, this letter to formally notice that San Diego State University intends to resign, keyword intends to resign from the Mountain West Conference effective June 30th or at an agreed upon later date. It has been an absolute joy to collaborate and compete, lose to Fresno State with each of the member universities in order to exit as efficiently and fairly as possible. I would like to respectively make the following requests for your consideration. Okay, so now they're going to make requests. 1, discuss notice requirement. Although Mountain West Conference bylaw typically requires notification by June 30th of the year preceding the effective date, San Diego State would like to ask for a 1-month extension given unforeseen delays involving other collegiate athletic conferences beyond our control. Excuses. Also sent June 13th, and they're talking about June 30th. 2, discuss exit fee. San Diego State would also like to discuss the exit fee with full consideration. This is great. With full consideration of the value added from our recent participation in the NCAA Division I basketball championship game, unit revenue from which will continue to come to the Mountain West Conference even after an San Diego State exit. I'm going to touch on that word and San Diego State exit in a second, and which our athletics director is prepared to discuss in detail, and with regard to the timing of the payout, such that a 4-year installment period may be considered. San Diego State is honored to have been a founding member of the Mountain West Conference for 25 years. We wish to transition in a matter, blah, 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 blah. Sincerely, Adela de la Torre, PhD. But just so I'm clear, my grandmother, and I Googled this before we talked, my grandmother told me, and the word "an" goes before a vowel. The letter A goes before a consonant. To my knowledge, S is a consonant. To this PhD president of San Diego State University, S is a vowel. So, Fresno State education, Pac-12, right here.
That's right. The non-tier 1 research university can grammar check that.
That was the initial letter intending to leave the Mountain West. Caleb, we talked about it when it first happened, but let me get to the letter that was the response from Gloria Nevarez, the Mountain West commissioner for the Mountain West, which we had on, by the way. So if you're new, you could go check out that interview we did with her. She's awesome. She says, on behalf of the board of directors of the Mountain West Conference, I would like to thank you for your consideration and professionalism in discussing the resignation of San Diego State University at the board meeting last week. She's too nice. San Diego State has been an important member of the Mountain West, and it is with a heavy heart that we receive this news. No, it's not. Get out. Just kidding. We wish you only the best in your new conference and will work with you to ensure a smooth transition. To that end, I hereby confirm receipt on June 13th, 2023 of your notice of resignation from the Mountain West, effective as of June 30th. Putting aside your request waivers for a moment, as a matter of the bylaws of the Mountain West, your resignation does not relieve San Diego State from any obligations that San Diego State may have to the conference as a result of obligations incurred or commitments made prior to the effective date. Gotcha. San Diego State is obligated to pay an exit fee in an amount equal to 3 times the average per member conference distribution payment for the preceding year. As of the notice date, all payments due to San Diego State from the Mountain West should be withheld and applied to the exit fee. The balance of the exit fee should be paid to the Mountain West on or before the effective date, and the period from the notice date to the effective date shall be referred to as the interim period. Get it right. No, that was new news. In addition, during the interim period, the bylaws make clear that San Diego State shall play all athletic competitions, including the conference schedules, until the effective date, and the president of San Diego State is hereby deemed to have resigned as a member of the board as of the notice date. San Diego State is not permitted to appoint a replacement. You're fired. That wasn't in there. I added that. Okay, so Caleb, have you read that? Did you read that?
I didn't read the whole thing. I just got clips or snippets of it in various articles that I read. But yeah, I hadn't read the whole thing before. So
to be fair, I'm with Gloria. She's running a business here. You want to leave? You paying. So
there's a reason why contracts exist.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get to that in a sec. All right, then the last one that I have is from San Diego State, and it says, "Dear Commissioner Nevarez, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you earlier today. Following that conversation, this letter is to clarify 2 important points." Okay. First, our letter dated June 13th was not the official notice. I'm sorry. It is not the official notice of resignation from the Mountain West Conference pursuant to bylaw. Okay. So that was the intends to word. As plainly set forth in that letter, plainly, its purpose was twofold: to request a 1-month extension of time under which we could formally provide our notice of resignation, They knew the rules, and to ask for the opportunity to discuss the exit fee. Our goal was and has always been to be transparent about our intentions, to give the Mountain West Conference the opportunity to meet before June 30th to consider our request, especially our request concerning an extension of the resignation window. As you know, there have been delays outside of our control, such that we continue to ask for your special consideration on the deadline. Just so everyone knows, if they didn't meet the deadline, they were going to have to pay double the amount, I believe. So that's why they're freaking out. And now they are running it back in the Mountain West.
Just kidding.
And yeah, just kidding. I'm sorry. Doing everything they can. It's a clown show. What are your thoughts on all of this, Caleb? These are the letters that I have screenshotted on my phone. I don't know if there's any more sent. I don't have them with me. If there was, send it to us. We got a kick out of reading them. But Caleb, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, I think it's comical that San Diego State thought that they would get away with this or convince the conference to, let them out with a, softer penalty. I mean, that's just kind of comical. So, like, yes, I guess they do have an argument. Like, they've done very well recently and, are bringing in more money to the conference, but that doesn't mean that the conference is going to try to, credit that against whatever they owe. It's like, yeah, thank you for doing your job. You are performing to your contract, and there's a reason why we have contracts to, outline all of this. So, yeah, it's just pretty comical, and at the same time, pretty bold move to try to announce that without having any type of I guess, landing place in terms of a different
Yes.
conference. So, I mean, we've been speculating here for, oh gosh, the last month or two about where the realignment's happening and, what schools are going to be invited to Pac-12 or Big 12. And I mean, it just seems like a whole lot of nothing's out there. And especially with Pac-12, I mean, we've heard not good outlook there in terms of their potential media partners and all that. So, it didn't look like anything is happening soon. So, and obviously the June 30th deadline passed and there's no deal. So I know that we've seen that, the Pac-12 Media Days is, I think, around the 21st of this month of July. And so
Mm-hmm.
from what I read and heard, it's like, okay, that's kind of the next, soft, not really a deadline, but it's going to be kind of a bad look if they get to their media days and they still haven't figured out, the future media contract. So, yeah, definitely not a great time to be, trying to join the Pac-12 because I mean it seems like really unsure footing of, what's going to be, their media partner or who's going to be their media partner going forward. So yeah, very bold for San Diego State to try to bet on that. And granted, maybe there's people that they've been talking to or negotiating with that were making them promises, and those promises
That's
weren't
true.
being fulfilled too. So I think, I'm sure there had to be some sort of information that they had that maybe didn't come to fruition, that made them operate this way. So all that to say, I think that the Mountain West is stronger with San Diego State as a member, because for pretty much every sport, I mean, most sports, I mean, they're a really strong competitor and going to be considered one of the better teams in each respective sport. So for the conference, staying together, a San Diego State team there is good, and for like we said, our regional rivalry aspect, I mean. I would love to see Fresno State and San Diego State playing in the same conference just because of a recent tradition and history there with really good matchups and lots of different sports. So overall, I think that would be great to keep, but seems like that might not be likely going forward. But yeah, all that to say, at least another year of San Diego State in the Mountain West, unless they're going to pony up and pay a really big payout, which seems unlikely, but that could always be the case.
Uh, I mean, my only thing is if you're going to do this stuff and like you need to know business, go take a business class at San Diego State. I'm sure you have them there. If you're gonna get out of the conference, be ready to pay. You probably should have a contract ready to be signed the second you leave. And we're gonna backtrack. We're gonna backtrack. Okay, I lost my train of thought. anyways, we're gonna backtrack and then money. That's what I was talking about. We're gonna say we want to talk about money and the date, but the entire world saw you make the Division I national championship. You're right. You did your job. We know you made a lot of money. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. No, anyway, sorry, my blank there for a second, but yeah, I take a business 101 class at San Diego State. I don't know. I'm with you though. I appreciate San Diego State. I want them in our conference, but it's San Diego State. We have to give them heck when we have the chance.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and also, yeah, it's great to see them struggle through this too. Which, like, we would feel the same way if this was Boise trying to put something out and then draw back. Like, yeah, obviously we're gonna give them a hard time for not knowing how to operate.
Last thing for football, and then I want to get to the Elevate campaign real quick. Cody Nagel by the way, Nagel is the German form of nail. That used to be our last name until my family came across. I don't know when they came across. I don't know. Anyways, probably running from the Germans, but they changed their name to Nail, which is way cooler than Nagel, by the way. But anyways, Cody Nagel of 24/7 Sports, could be my cousin, ranks the top 15 college football quarterback developers, and he ranked Jeff Tedford number 2. Lincoln Riley was obviously number 1. It's hard to argue that, but Jeff Tedford number 2, and nobody's talking about Fresno State and the offense. I saw PFF released power rankings in the Mountain West, and they had Fresno State number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Boise fans lost it. I saw Colorado State fans losing it. PFF knows. You should know. When Jeff Tedford is in charge, we don't need to worry about the offense that much.
Mm-hmm.
Cody knows. So I don't. What are your thoughts on this ranking?
I mean, I'd even push back a little bit on Lincoln Riley. I mean, Caleb Williams was a stud. Like, I'm sure he's helped coach him. But I mean, before that, he had who's the Alabama transfer? Jalen Hurts.
Uh-huh.
I think Saban developed him. Before that, Kyler. Okay, yeah, maybe he did. All right, this wasn't a fully formulated thought before I started this argument. So
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Baker too. So, all right, okay, maybe he does have a track record there, but yeah, it is kind of surprising though to see Tedford get some appreciation there because I know his work that he did at Cal too. I think really helped with kind of establish like his name in the quarterback guru or developer space. So hopefully that translates well for Fresno State football going forward. I know, a lot of hype behind Mikey Keene, and a lot of hope in the young guys too, Joshua Wood and Jaden Mandel. I mean, the future is looking pretty bright here at Fresno State, and so hopefully, Tedford can continue to develop those guys that are coming in. Obviously, we mention this in some capacity every week, but yeah, love seeing Tedford get some appreciation there, but. I didn't even look at the list. So who was after Tedford in this list?
I think Lane Kiffin was on there. Josh Heupel, Ryan Day, Rob DeSoto says Baker was a transfer. So you're good there, Caleb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. From Texas Tech. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there are some big names on there, but Tedford is the best. I think he's the best. Art says Craig School Business over everybody, and I got a 23andMe the Nagel. So I just thought that was an interesting article that we could talk about. And the last thing before we get to our big news, Caleb,
yep.
I want to talk about this Elevate campaign. So it's been going around social media. We see the billboards going up, the signs going up at the school, and people the people in the program are giving out signs and t-shirts and things of that nature to the Red Wave. And my first thought was, oh, this is way better than the Pride of the Valley campaign. Because do you remember how hard it was to get a yard sign for the Pride of the Valley?
I know. I think I only got one because it was like you had to know someone to like get the hookup to get the sign. So yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that is what's still going on, but already it looks as though the Elevate campaign is being embraced more widely than in the Valley than the Pride of the Valley campaign. I see them giving out stuff in public, and the billboards are a nice touch because we haven't seen a Fresno State billboard. I haven't seen a Fresno State billboard, I don't think, ever. So it's refreshing to see that there is this care, or people care about what's going on at Fresno State. Am I wrong to say that? I don't know the inside and out of this movement, but it looks better, way better than the Pride of the Valley campaign.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like it's a little bit more calculated, and hopefully that'll translate into like more actual dollars being available to this project. So, yeah, I agree. I think that um, ideally, like I know that nothing's free in this world, but like the cost to get those signs into all of the yards all over Fresno County. I mean, they should be paying people to put those up just to try to advertise and try to generate the buzz around the program and the fundraising efforts that's going on. So yeah, I agree that the yard signs and the billboards are awesome. We should get a yard sign in every yard if possible. I think that would be really cool, and just to kind of like reboot the just the small town feel and just the collaborative effort around Fresno State athletics. Because I mean, if you think back to the '80s when a lot of the growth around Fresno and Fresno State was happening, I mean, it was a community event. I mean, like that was what everyone in the community was pulling, um, around and for. And I mean, it wasn't, a lot of the people that are in the area here, they didn't go to Fresno State, but because they live here, that's what they cared about. And they're like, you know what, we're here in Fresno, we're going to support this program. So, yeah, I think it's a good first step, and hopefully momentum continues. And I think, like we've mentioned, the performance of football and basketball and baseball, that just adds to the momentum potentially of these capital campaigns. So I think it's a really good start, and there's going to be a lot of stones that need to be laid after this too to keep it moving.
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm excited. Uh, I do need an Elevate yard sign though. I don't have one yet, but I see them being given out. We still need them. Uh, yeah, Art said he had to go try and move mountains to get a yard sign. So back at the last campaign. So it looks a lot better this year. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the numbers and what's being spent, because we know the athletic department is struggling and they had to spend all that money to get billboards and things like that. Um, so I just hope they still have money left over to help out the athletic program still and run it. But I have enjoyed watching this campaign take off and be embraced by the community. All right, dude, you ready for the big news?
I am, yeah. It is big news, and something that we've been working on for quite a while, and pretty excited for this partnership that we have to announce.
Yeah. So as of July 1, uh, Beware of Bulldogs podcast has partnered with Bulldog Sports Properties and the local Learfield multimedia rights team, making Beware of Bulldogs the official fan podcast of Fresno State athletics. It's going to be a fun year. I can't wait. A big thank you to you guys for making this possible. Without listeners and you guys listening, we can't do it. We started in 2019. We didn't know. I started in 2019. Caleb, when did you jump on?
I think it was 2020. I think it was after your first year. Yeah.
we didn't know where we were going to take this, but we have been in communication with Learfield Bulldog Sports Properties, and we're really excited for this year. We're going to be bringing you guys 3 episodes a week during football season. Well, let me just say this: nothing is changing for you guys. You're going to get Beware of Bulldogs how it was and how it has been. So you don't have to worry about that. There may be a couple more ad reads. Let me rephrase that. There will be a couple more ad reads. But other than that, it's going to be the same for you guys. And we are excited to be working with them. They're great people. And they've made this process and partnership super easy. They pretty much said, do what you're doing. That's what they said. So I said, awesome. We're happy to do that. And our goal is to build a community. Well, really build the community back to where it was, because Caleb and I grew up in that. And that's why we're here doing this. So you guys are a part of that. Thank you guys for getting us here. And I feel like we're just starting, Caleb. This wasn't an end goal. We're just starting.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we totally appreciate all of our, fans and listeners. Like, obviously we couldn't do this without you, because I mean, we're trying to build our own movement here, with the same goal as, supporting Fresno State athletics, because I mean, whether it's football or basketball or softball or track and field or water polo, I mean, so many of us have been just influenced and had appreciation for these athletics programs, or maybe it's been a fun pastime for us to check in on, or maybe you're a former athlete here, and so there's so many of us have a story about how we have a connection to Fresno State athletics, and so we're just trying to amplify that, and hopefully this is the next big step for us, and hopefully reaching even more listeners, because podcasts are still relatively new. I mean, trying to get some of the gray wave to figure out how to access the content is going to be the continual challenge here. But yeah, super thankful for everyone that listens to us and sends us encouragement too. We're having a ton of fun here, and hopefully the content keeps getting better, and hopefully we get some really awesome guests too. I think that's something that we're excited about too, is maybe having a new pipeline of potential either former or current athletes to be able to talk to. So I think it's a really exciting opportunity partnership that we're taking advantage of here, and we're really excited to continue to just pump up Fresno State athletics, because it means a ton to us.
Mm-hmm. And Tim is looking forward to the 2 a.m. dog talk after the games. You talked about guests, Caleb, coming up. It's something we've always wanted to do. We didn't quite get there, but we wanted to talk to seniors on the football team so that the Red Wave can get to know them. So we're going to have some short features or specials, I don't know what you want to call them, coming out. We have 3 episodes currently, 4 players that we will be releasing to get to know some of the Fresno State football seniors. So that'll be coming soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited, Caleb.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you again, because without you, man, I wouldn't have got here. You are the man.
Well, I definitely wouldn't be here without you too. So it's a lot of fun, and thanks for putting up with me too. But here, I mean, the future is ours for the taking, I guess, man. And just again, thank you to the fans. Like, obviously, we couldn't do this if no one was listening. So.
Yeah. We are doing a lot of stuff on Twitter and Instagram, trying to get back into it. So you can follow us on Twitter, Beware_Bulldogs on Twitter, and on Instagram, Beware Bulldogs Podcast. Let us know what you guys want to hear, guests you want to have on. You could DM us. If you don't have social, email us, bewareofbulldogspodcast@gmail.com. This is really your show. So we just want to make it a place that we can all get together and have a good time. Let us know how you want to see this show grow and who we can have on. So thank you guys once again. Caleb, thank you. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. And God bless, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.